Steven Spielberg presents a Robert Zemeckis film, Back to the Future, Part 2. Coming November 22nd to theaters everywhere.
Hey guys, it's Mega Robert from Mega Robert TV, and today I'm going to review issue 53 of Mega Man. So, this issue starts out where Mega Man is flying through Mega City with Rush, and he's telling Rush to go even faster because Gutsman has called for help and they need to go rescue him. So, they're flying through Mega City as fast as they can, and the second they land, Mega Man jumps off of Rush, and he's running towards Gutsman. He's like, Gutsman, are you okay? I'm here to rescue you. And Gutsman is just standing there, and he's just laughing. He's like, what are you talking about, Rock? I called you so you could help me move some boxes into the new robot museum. And the second Mega Man realizes that it's all okay, it's nothing to worry about, he kind of calms down and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out with that. And he starts moving boxes. And as he's doing that, he's thinking to himself like, wow, I really overreacted to this. I mean, why did I think there was going to be some fight happening at the robot museum? Like, did I want there to be a fight? And it really brings up this interesting point that we haven't seen in a lot of the last issues. Like, what has happened to Mega Man's state of morals? Because as of late, he's destroyed so many Robot Masters. Now, although he's done it for the right reason, it does kind of bring up this question of, does he enjoy fighting these Robot Masters? Does he kind of get a kick out of destroying them and kind of being the bigger and better robot? Does he sort of like that in this weird way? And, it's a big question to ask. And although they've touched upon it in a couple of Mega Man issues before this, I don't think it's been as prevalent as it is now in this issue. So it definitely is this big conflict that is kind of eating Mega Man up at this point. So as Mega Man and Gutsman are moving equipment into the Robot Museum, we actually see that Concrete Man is also helping out the guys and bringing in some Robot Masters into the museum. And as this is happening, Concrete Man and Gutsman actually start having this conversation about what they're going to do once they're turned off and put offline. Are they going to join the Robot Museum? And Concrete Man really doesn't enjoy the idea of the Robot Museum because he thinks it's just kind of a big space of waste. And he's not really a big fan of waste, so he would just rather get recycled and then used for something else later on in his life. But Gutsman is the complete opposite. Gutsman is like, no way, I want to be like the shining star of the Robot Museum. I want future generations of robots to see these guns and know what a true Robot Master is supposed to look like. And they're just having this fun conversation. It's nothing really that serious until Mega Man jumps in and he's like, what are you guys talking about? You guys are talking about getting destroyed and putting yourselves offline. That's insane. How could you talk about that so lightly? That's your lives. And Gutsman's like, hey, Rob, calm down. I mean, I know you're nervous about getting destroyed, but, you're Dr. Light's son, nothing's going to happen to you. Your function is to be his loving son. And I mean, that function lasts forever. That's something that's almost eternal. You're completely fine. You're not going to get destroyed like us. And Mega Man's like, what are you talking about? I'm not worrying about myself. I fought to worry about you. What, are you guys insane? And the scene ends with this close-up of Mega Man's face as he's screaming at Gutsman and Concrete Man, sort of in this insane style. And it's pretty crazy. You definitely see Mega Man kind of hit his breaking point in frustration about how he's fought so long to protect these robots, and they can kind of blatantly accept their destruction so soon. And it's pretty wild, and you can definitely see Mega Man's flaws show in this part of the issue. So the next scene starts where Dr. Wily and Mr. X are talking to each other, and Mr. X starts talking to Dr. Wily, and he goes, I bought you the best technology I could, and I even gave you this entire lab to create your Robot Masters in, and you know what you do with it? You go out and you start kidnapping little girls. And Dr. Wily's like, hey, you can't judge me. I only kidnapped one little girl, and I did it for my big plan to finally defeat Mega Man. And Mr. X is like, your big plan also includes my associates having to take care of a little girl for the next couple of days. And Dr. Wily's like, whatever, just give her a juice box or something. That doesn't matter right now. What matters is that you are not Mr. X, and you are actually the terrorist, Xander Payne. And Mr. X is kind of thrown back by this, and he's like, oh, so you actually know my real identity, Dr. Wily. Well, I might as well tell you how I got to this point. And he basically talks about how he was Xander Payne during the events of the Mega Man Sonic crossover. But what happened was he was sent 30 years into the past from the Genesis portal collapsing once he destroyed Sigma. And once he was sent 30 years into the past, he decided to stay there instead of trying to find a way to get back to the present. So he basically pulled off a Marty McFly from Back to the Future, but instead of using the DeLorean to return to 1985, he decides to stay in the past and become rich off his knowledge of the future. So after Mr. X gives his backstory about how he went from Xander Payne to this really rich old man, Shadow Man actually teleports in and reports to Dr. Wily about how the Robot Masters have all decided to work with Dr. Light now, and how they've decided to either help humanity or put their bodies in a museum. And Dr. Wily asks Shadow Man how exactly everyone is coping to this new life of peace, and Shadow Man starts explaining what everybody is doing now in their peaceful lives. So as Shadow Man is talking, we see a montage of Mega Man flying throughout the world, catching up with all the old Robot Masters, and from what we can see, all the Robot Masters are really happy now that they have a peaceful life that they can settle into, and that they can enjoy just the daily lives of, being good people. They don't have to fight each other anymore. And surprisingly though, everybody is happy except Mega Man, who actually gets more and more depressed as he sees all these robots being happy and fulfilling their functions. And in the end, he goes to Fireman crying, and he just goes, "I don't understand it, Fireman. I don't know why I can't be happy. Does that mean that I'm stuck being Mega Man and being this violent person who can only be happy if he's hurting others?" And Fireman, in this really good speech, looks at Mega Man and he goes, "Partner, you know what? Mega Man wasn't built for fighting. He was built for bringing hope and helping people. And you know what? You don't need that gun strapped to your arm to help people. You could just help them in your daily lives by being a rock. That's all you need to do." And Mega Man stops crying and he's like, "Wow, Fireman, that was a really good speech. That was really helpful. I should hang out with you more often." And Fireman's like, "Yep, that sounds good to me." And, the scene kind of ends there. But that's actually a really good point brought up by Fireman. Mega Man may fight people all the time, but, that's not what he's really there for. He's there to help people. And, that was definitely the words of encouragement that Mega Man needed to get him out of his slump. So after that happens, Mega Man goes to Light Labs, and we see Mega Man crash into Dr. Light and Roll. And he goes, "Hey guys, I know I've been Mega Man for a real long time, and I've really enjoyed helping people, but I've realized that I can help people in my daily life, and I don't have to be Mega Man anymore to do it. So if you guys don't mind, I think it's time to put the armor away." And Dr. Light and Roll, they're just happy as could be. They're like, "Yeah, Rock, we're so proud of you, and we're always going to think of you as Mega Man, but, we're glad to have you home again." So Mega Man powers down, he turns back into Rock, but the second he does that, the TV starts flashing, and Dr. Cossack shows up on the TV, and he's like, "To everybody in Mega City, I want to say it right now. I have 8 of my own Robot Masters, and I am going to destroy the world unless Mega Man is man enough to face me." And the second he says that, everybody just looks at the TV with their mouths just wide open, like, "Oh my God, it's happening again." And Dr. Light turns to Rock, and he's like, "Rock, I'm so sorry. I don't want you to have to become Mega Man again, but I don't know what we're gonna do." And Mega Man is looking down, and we can't see his facial expression at all. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, is he gonna snap at this point? Is he gonna refuse to become Mega Man? What's gonna happen?" And then Rock looks up, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll be Mega Man again and save the day." And he gets Rush, and he gets Eddie, and he powers up, and he's like, "Let's go save the day, guys." And he runs towards the camera, and that's how the last panel ends. That's how this issue ends. And for a little while after reading this, I was a little confused. I was like, wait, so, Mega Man just gave this whole speech about, putting the armor away, and then Dr. Cossack pops up, and he decides to be Mega Man again, but, he looks pretty happy about that in the last panel, and I was sort of thinking about it like, oh, is he happy because maybe this means that, there's this little part of his mind where he's kind of excited to have to fight again, but I didn't know if I was reading too much into it, because, his face, he's happy, but he doesn't look like diabolical happy. He looks pretty innocent, so I don't know, maybe that was a little mistranslation between Ian Flynn and his script about how he wanted Mega Man to look in that last panel. But I'm not going to hold that against this issue. I mean, this issue was great beginning to end. It had awesome writing. The art, of course, by Ryan Jampol was just amazing. You couldn't ask for a better artist to work on the issue. And I should bring this up that the Mega Man series is going on hiatus very soon in November, so I really don't know what's going on with that, and I just want you guys to know, because I haven't brought it up, that I know the series is going on hiatus, and I want to make a video about it, and I want to talk to you guys about it, but just right now we don't have enough information yet. But this week I am actually going to the New York Comic Con 2015, where I will be hopefully meeting some guys that work on the Archie comics, specifically Mega Man, and hopefully I can get some information from them about what's going on with this and when will Mega Man return and what's going on. So basically that's all I have to really say about that now, and I'm really sorry. I usually don't like to kind of give like this half-baked answer to a situation that's going on right now, but just so you guys know, I'm working as hard as I can to get information about this and bring it to you so we can spread the news, whether it's a good or bad thing. So just tell you guys that this is gonna be a completely different video. So yeah, guys, question of the day: what do you guys think about issue 53? Did you enjoy it, and what do you want to see for Mega Man before the hiatus starts? So yeah, guys, this is Mega Robert signing off.